Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Smith, and you're now listening to episode 7 of So What We Not Gonna Do, the original 90s voicemail podcast. I could not wait to start this episode and get back to you guys. I've been missing y'all throughout the week. Y'all like my friends in my head. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go with me everywhere. I'm taking notes during the week to see what I got to tell y'all and what I want to update y'all on and catch y'all up with. So if you guys haven't already, I'm your host. You can follow me over at Instagram at Smith Worldwide. I'm also on Twitter at Smith Worldwide. And for those of you who don't know, this podcast is named after my first book. It's called So What We Not Gonna Do, Getting You Together in Facebook Statuses, Tweets, and Whimsical Quotes. That is a fashion-forward quote book, you guys. I always wanted to be quotable. You know how you used to be in high school when you would have to do an essay on, like, let's say Eleanor Roosevelt or something, or peace or liberty or something. You have to look up quotes on Google. So one day I was in high school and I was like, I really want to be quotable one day. Like, that was one of my goals. I wanted to be quotable. I wanted high school students to go to Google and Wikipedia and go look up stuff and find my quotes and put them in essays. And I said, I realized that my Facebook statuses and tweets, they were getting a lot of shares and people were kind of resonating with them and stopping me in public to talk about them. And it kind of got crazy, and that became my thing online. And so a friend of mine decided to help me out with the project that I had, and that was to compile these tweets and these Facebook statuses and create a really dope book. So that's how the book got created. You can find that over at barnesandnoble.com. You can find it over at housecapacity.com/shop. But anyways, I digress. Enough of the commercial. I got to update y'all with how my week went. I hope you guys' week went well. I had a really productive week. It was very balanced too. My week was built mostly of socializing, rest, and work. I guess that's pretty much all of our weeks, huh? I guess that's nothing really special about that. But this week, for me, the part that was special was that it was mad balanced. It was so balanced. And you know, sometimes you have those weeks where it's work heavy. You have those weeks where you're just tired and it's rest heavy. Then you got those weeks where you're just showing out and it's party heavy. So this week I had a very good balance between those three. Got to hang out with some good friends. The guys, we hung out some this week. Even during the week we hung out. I hadn't got a chance to hang out with Jonathan in quite a while. He ended up coming out with me on Tuesday. We went to go celebrate. A friend of ours throws an event on Tuesdays called Cameo Tuesday. Shout out to Ross, guys. Congratulations on what you guys got going on downtown. And Jonathan came out, stepped out. We had a good time. Now, Jonathan, that's my dance partner right there. So I got some of my friends are chill. You know, they look fly and they hold their spot, may have a quick little 1-2 and they done. But Jonathan, we're going to dance the entire night, and I had a great time hanging out with him. And so this week I was really focused on the work component. You know, I had a couple of streams of income that were getting ready to dry up. You know, one of them is pretty much gone, and then another one is going to be expiring soon. So what I've been working on is replacing those streams. I don't want no dried up ocean. I need rivers flowing into my water space, into my reservoir. And I realized that two of those were getting ready to dry up. So, you know, one thing that I don't do is I don't worry about money. I don't worry about money. And trust me when I say this, it's not because I'm rich, and it's not because I have copious amounts of it just laying at my feet. That's not the case. But one thing that I do know is that I'm living where I'm supposed to live, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do with the gift that God gave me. And I do believe, I don't care by what principle, I don't care by what religious system that you line yourself up to, I do believe that when you are literally doing what you were born to do, that resources will come in order to fulfill you to be able to do what you're supposed to do. And so that's how I live my life. And, you know, sometimes it gets a little like, okay, you can come anytime now. You know, I had a few of those. And to be honest with you, on one of these streams of income, I was definitely concerned on what the next was, because it was a large portion. So there I was. I've been setting my intentions and servicing and serving and trying to, you know, do right by LA and do right by my gift and do right by God. And, you know, sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. And there I am laying in bed and I get a call. I get a call from a friend of mine. He is a super dope guy, super dope, humble guy, has looked out for me on so many different occasions and put me into very large rooms with opportunities, with really big people. Okay. So when he calls, first of all, he's my friend. And I appreciate updating with him and he updating with me about what's going on in both our lives. You know, when you're busy, you're busy. You know what I'm saying? You're not always able to do lunch and brunch every other day. And so he called. And what he wanted to share was an opportunity to be able to work with as far as what I do. So let me fill you guys in. So outside of this whole Talkspace arena, I also run Smith Worldwide Creative Agency. You can find the business page over at Facebook. The website is smithworldwideca.com, and it's an agency. And what we do is we offer services in marketing and branding. Digital marketing is my niche. Social media has been my moneymaker. Photography, ghostwriting, and other services that you can go over there to the website and see, smithworldwideca.com. But one of those aspects, which is the marketing component, he and I have similarities to. That was a big component that he ran in the past. He's so good at it. But he's moving into something else. And so he had an opportunity that he presented to me to connect me with a really big celebrity, a very noteworthy celebrity, been around a long time, and just nailed a deal with a very large television network, and they're looking for a digital marketing agent. And guess what? He thought of your boys. So I have been submitted for that. So I don't mind sharing, because there's nothing that anybody listening can do that can derail, what God has for me. And what is for me is for me. It's going to find me. But keep me in your thoughts and your prayers towards that. But nevertheless, what it did for me is it enforced the fact that don't worry. Don't you dare worry about a thing, because what you need will present itself when you need it. So that kicked off my week really, really, really well. And it got me kickstarted. March, we're in you guys realize that we're getting ready to go into our second quarter. Like, spring just launched the other day, March 20th. Y'all around here in LA, we already don't get a real big winter like that. But y'all, when they said it was spring on the calendar, I done seen so many coochie cutters this weekend. I done seen midriffs to the midriff, a midriff. Your shirt stopping literally under your chest. But it's all good. Do you, mama? I see you out here. So we had such a beautiful week with the weather. It was very, very bipolar a little bit. It rained a little bit, but we had a very, very warm week this week. And for me, spring seasons put me in a place. Each season has its own kind of vibe, you know what I'm saying? And so with March 20th getting here, for me, spring is kind of like, it's a finality over things that have died. Over the winter, it's something about that chill. It's just something about that. It kills off some things. You know what I'm saying? You don't hang out with people as much. You don't. It's a lot of stuff that dies down in the winter. You know what I'm saying? And so when spring comes, it's kind of like those things that were dead, you fertilize this ground. Y'all been down there, you've been baking, you've been cooking, you've been doing, and now I'm looking to see what's about to pop up out the grass. So that's the attitude, that's the zone and the space that I'm in. So let me tell y'all who gets the Dum Dum of the Week award. I'm giving the Dum Dum of the Week award to this Russian guy named Andrei Zeskov. He's a 27-year-old guy. Let me tell you what he did. So last Friday, he was trying to leave the Gurai International Airport. Now, that's in Bali. He was trying to leave there to head back to Russia. Now, you say, what's the problem with that? Nothing's the problem with that. However, guess what he had packed in his luggage, y'all? Guess what he had packed in his luggage? He had a whole orangutan packed in his luggage. 2-year-old orangutan that, according to the authorities, and also as reported by The Independent, which is a Russian newspaper, according to them, not only did he have the orangutan in there, he also had 5 lizards, and he had 2 geckos in there. Let me tell you, he came up with a bomb story. He claims that one of his friends, who is also a Russian, convinced him that he could legally take the orangutan that was purchased allegedly for $3,000 back to Russia via the plane from this particular airport. He allegedly believed him. Well, the authorities ain't buying it, so they arrested him. He was arrested when he got back to Russia. He was arrested, and he is facing as a smuggler now. That's the thing. How you go on vacation as a vacationer, And then you see, that's the thing though, because he left Russia prepared. He left Russia prepared because he was traveling with baby formula for the orangutan when he got it, and a bassinet. That was noticed on his too. So you went prepared to bring something home. So hey, I guess he got himself into some trouble there. And so thankfully, the baby orangutan is now being cared for by the Bali Natural Resources Conservation Agency. So the BBC is reporting that. I'm gonna keep updated with them, because I thought that was a very interesting story. But it's like, how dare you? How dare you think? First of all, I'm on this Delta flight too. He gonna drug the baby, y'all. He drugged the orangutan. Well, it was a baby orangutan. He drugged the orangutan. What if that thing woke up on the plane? What if that thing woke up on the plane? You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested to see, but y'all need to leave these animals alone. Quit trying to be exclusive. You know what I'm saying? Y'all looking up at TV and these movies and y'all thinking this stuff's supposed to be. It ain't. And he gonna find out real quick. It's either gonna cost him 5 years and 7,000 or either or. So I'll keep you guys updated if I hear anything else on that one. Favorite song from 702's self-titled album, which, by the way, went platinum and landed them number 34 on the Billboard 200. That's Make Time by 702. Let's go.
But you know that it ain't good enough for me. You're always dipping with your friends, as if you're out there making ends. And now you're knocking on my door. Well, I guess you were too busy before. You better make time if you wanna be with me. Can't you see? Show me I got everything you need. Everything. If you wanna be with me. Somebody else. If you do, you can only blame it on yourself. I'm feeling you without a doubt, but I know how to do it out. So don't you call me on the phone late at night when you don't wanna be alone. Don't wanna be your part-time lover. You know
That's my song. That is my song, y'all. All right, come on, y'all. I'm ready to get into our first voicemail. Let's see who called me this week.
Hey, Smith.
Hey.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
I would love to hear your insight on why you think people, particularly people of color, are losing their religion in an effort to explore spirituality as a way of connecting to divine energy, divine sources. Why do you think that is? Where do you think this mass awakening is coming from? I would love to hear your input. Love and light, my dear. Peace.
So, this caller is asking the question, why is it that I feel that people of color are taking more of a spiritual route and awakening rather than a more religious route and understanding of that? So that is a very multi-layered and a very complex question. But I, being one of those who has gone through that transition, I can give my opinion as to why I and others that I know have come to terms with that understanding of how they feel about the church dynamic. You know, we can go back to the days of the Negro spiritual. You know, church culture, religious culture, Christianity, let's just be direct in what I believe you may be possibly asking about. That's been something that was given to Black culture through, we just have to be honest, that came from the country of the peoples who took us. That was the religion that was given to us, you know? And so we as a culture, I'm speaking about generations, I'm talking about our Harriet Tubmans. That is the one thing that we use to unite us. You know, when Master was beating Uncle Fred, you know, over in Cotton Field South, the rest of everybody was singing Negro spirituals, so much so, you know, that was their own language. That was how they communicated, you know, to keep their hope alive that one day God gonna get us up out of this. Believed it? Yes. Was it faith applied? Yes. Was it a Negro spiritual? Yes, it was. And that's how they stayed united. And that is deeply ingrained into the African American experience. That particular rooting is deeply there. So when you ask about why are people departing from the religious thought so much more as to the spiritual thought, I know that particular question, people frown at that because it almost would seem as though you're saying that a more spiritual thought is a watered down thought. And I think the notion isn't, because until I even tell you what I mean by spiritual versus religious, you really don't know. So, that would make that a prejudice. But I think that the reason why people say that is because, for one, our ancestors of old were more religious, walking according to the laws, based upon this duty of, if I don't do right, I'm going to be slapped off the earth, you know, that whole vibe. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that people, for one, think that it's watered down because of, you know, that the old generation where we started from, they weren't talking about no spiritual versus religious. So how dare you? I also think that people think that it's watered down because they believe spiritual the terminology is from like more of a new age thought. And then that mindset is kind of like, how dare you, new school, come tell us how we should entreat our glorious God who's been there all these years for us. So I understand. Let me just start the premise with that. I know that question gains that type of raised eyebrow. However, I have to say, I have to be honest to myself. I have to be honest to the podcast and stand flat-footed and say, I believe a large part of the reason why people of color, especially millennials, are leaving the churches in droves is because they're really tired of the church politics. I don't think it has anything, I won't say anything, in mass. I don't think that it has much to do with people falling out of love with or for God. I don't think that at all. I think for the most part, people enjoy relationship with God and having something to believe in and someone to help them. And I believe they believe in, enjoy the prayer and the things around God. But dealing with the things that happen inside of the church, the politics, the games, the shenanigans, the being hurt by people, all in the name of the Lord. I think people have come to a place where we've become really more aware of ourselves. I think that as helpful as it can be and as much of a nemesis as it can be, with the World Wide Web, we've gotten to know so many other world experiences without even leaving our desk at home. I can look and see somebody on YouTube having lunch in Korea, a meal I never even saw because they went live or something like that on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So I think we have had more opportunity to see the world, bring what we saw into us, and then figure out who we are with all of that new stimuli, not just the old neighborhood stimuli. Remember, like what we grew up with in our neighborhood and how things went there, or even just our local church pastor, infusing us with what we should or shouldn't believe. People have become more global with the World Wide Web is what I'm saying. And with that being said, I think people are really starting to get to know themselves more. And once people are starting to get to know themselves more, they start realizing and taking an assessment over the things that they once thought that they absolutely needed. And then you start saying, I don't need that for that. Or I was going to that for that. Or I was replacing that, trying to stick this there. Or I was only going to church because it made me forget about XYZ. Or I got a quick empowerment for 2 days and then it's a lot of reasons why. You get what I'm saying? And I think people started to become more aware that I don't have to do this to get that or to get to God. And so I think with the culmination of, you've seen the news headlines. I don't need to go down the storyline of what's happened in churches from the highest priest down to the suffragan bishop of the most biggest black denomination. They've all had their stories. And I think people are kind of fed up. And I think that has led people to take a different route to God. I think that has led people to take a different route to God. Whereas in what you said, it's not necessarily, maybe not the traditional pastoring of a church, going to a church. Some people, a husband and wife, may want to have church with their children on Sundays in the living room, pay their tithes to, maybe where their home church is. I don't know. People are doing things differently. And is it up to me to say that your route and your road to get to God that keeps you sane, keeps you out of jail, keeps you from cutting somebody up, is it my job to say that your route is not the route? I can't say that. So that's why I believe a lot of people of color are walking away from that. They're ridding themselves of systems that are filled with politics, often a lot of games and shenanigans. And I believe they become more aware of themselves and are making more individual choices on choosing a route to get to God that's outside of a building. So hope that made sense. I hope. Come on, let's get into our next thing. Y'all, can't nobody tell a story like 90s hip-hop does, right? MC Lyte was one of the coldest storytellers. And our next music break highlights a record that landed #1 on the Billboard Hot Rap single charts. Let's get into MC Lyte's Georgy Porgy.
Hanging out one night, he said, "Hello, I'm George. Hi, Lyte, how's everything going, huh? How you doing? Hope everything's fine. Ooh, and can I call you sometimes? Can I get the digits and the address so I can come visit?" I gave him the digit, that wasn't a problem, cause if he caused any, I would have to solve them, cause George looked good, damn good, and if I didn't, some other girl would. In my mind, I hope for the best, convincing myself that this was not a test, cause I heard many things about Georgy, nothing kinky, like no orgies. I heard he knows how to make love, like in Georgy mission. I gave him the number, I saw it in his eyes. She gave me the number, I'm surprised. Good conversation over the phone. He began to comfort me whenever I was alone. George was sweet, so nice and so neat. With any other guy, he didn't have to compete.
Welcome back to So What We Not Gonna Do, the original 90s voicemail podcast. And I wanted to tell y'all about something that I stumbled across online this week. So I follow a guy on Instagram named Justin Pye. His Instagram is just.pye, just.pye. And he had a very interesting perspective that he shared regarding good morning texts. Let me let you hear him say it in his own words.
So here's the thing with good morning texts. It's completely inconsequential communication. You're literally saying nothing. And I've been having good mornings for over 30 years. You texting me good morning is not going to influence that in any way whatsoever. And so it's different to communicate to someone that you're thinking about them or you're on their mind or you had a good time. Say that. Right. Or share a memory or some poignant moment or something with some humor and some personality, not just some stock response or some stock greeting.
So when I initially saw the video, I was just like, dang. Yo, he is serious. I'm going to have to put him on the do not disturb list. I'm not going to send no good morning text over there because of the fact that I've always been a very thoughtful person. I've always been a really introspective person, and I try to do something with my thoughts. Without getting too deep, I have aimed to live my life yielding all of me to serving the world as God would have it, okay? So through entertainment, through art, through my thoughts, and through my creativity, and through branding and marketing, and through communication, and through storytelling, I have desired to use my life as a vessel and have fun along the way and make money along the way and pay bills along the way, of course. But that is the sort of ship that I have situated my life to live within. And so one of the ways that I know that God uses me and that is a part of my purpose is people come to me. They come to mind often. Sometimes I haven't heard from them in a year or two, or sometimes it's, somebody that just may have fallen on my heart, and I'll reach out, and it's always the right time. People always say, wow, I had just been thinking about you, or whatever, what have you, but different things to confirm that what I was sharing was right. So I am a reacher outer is what I'm saying. However, I don't reach out. I don't have time to reach out when I'm really trying to receive. And I think that's what was frustrating Justin with the whole reaching out. You're reaching out to me to say good morning, but it's like, now what? I've been up for 2 hours. I'm drinking my coffee. My morning has gone great. So what do you want now? And I think that is where his argument, or his perspective rather, had got misconstrued. Some of the comments, people were kind of thinking that he was kind of being fussy, and it may have come across that way. His tone is very direct, but I could appreciate that rap within his basic consensus was have something to say. And then I had spoken to someone who had come over to visit. And I was just, this hot topic to me, I had just saw it that day. And it was a topic that I wanted to know what others thought about it. And somebody said that I don't see a problem with it. Good morning, that is my greeting. That is my admonition. That is my hope for you, that you have a good morning. Punctuation means a different thing. Good morning or good morning. That's a question. Good morning. You know what I'm saying? Like the way you said it, but through text, you probably can't tell. But either or, Justin wasn't having it. So you guys know what I did. I got on the phone and I called Justin this morning. Just wanted to chit chat and see what his thoughts of any of his conclusions or how his feedback was from everybody who had something to say. And here's a little snippet of our conversation. Listen to how it went down.
Are entertaining, because that for me, it wasn't about being petty about people saying good morning, but it's actually about knowing your worth and are we entertaining conversations, people that are just sending us letters, trying to get some piece of our attention or some piece of our time, of our heart, knowing that we deserve words, we deserve poems, we deserve phrases, at least a thought, as opposed to just, a WYD or a hey or don't.
Right. And see, I got that because when I first heard it, I am a good morning person. You know what I mean? But I'm with intention. You get what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not going to, typically say, good morning. I'm usually telling you what's on my heart, like your perspective. So I was somewhere in the middle because I am a reacher outer. I'm a very thoughtful person. I'm a Virgo. I love humans. I do believe in speaking well over people, and I do believe in setting your intentions beginning in your mouth. And so my good morning is often, I want you to have a good morning. You've been dealing with a lot last weekend. You told me about it. And so today I want you to have a good morning, but it's going to also be filled with some other things like love and some intention. That's where you caught me at right there. And so I said, okay, I'm on the right track, but I saw how controversial it was. I said, I got to get him on the line.
Yeah, man. No, it's been interesting because one takeaway that I appreciated was someone said, at least if anybody who watched this just may think a second about their good morning text, and that's my only thing is that, like, of course there's nothing wrong with saying good morning, and good morning it is a greeting, and it's a nice, it's a nice way to kind of start a conversation, but let it be the start of a conversation, not just a drop in the bucket where you just drop that, where it's just like you text someone good morning, and then if I receive that, the onus on is on me to actually generate a conversation, because, or else I just repeat that back to you. Now I have to say, well, good morning, how are you? When I'm not thinking about how you're doing, I'm hoping you're good, but I was thinking about what's going on in my world, so you asked me good morning and what's going on with X, Y, Z, so I can finish this message and get on to what I got to do.
I think especially in a city like ours, kindness is often used as a manipulative tool. And so, while you're sitting up, in Van Nuys and I'm over in the valley and we're over in, across town and I'm going about my day, I'm supposed to feel special. So the next time when you give me 3 of these and you call on Friday talking about you need to borrow $20, now we built a relationship that, he cares about me and my day or my soul or this, that, and the other. I'm going to figure out a way to do what you want. And I don't like that,
Right. Yeah, no, that's very true. It's very true. I noticed that I have a friend who does that, where it's like it's like whatever the request is, it's couched in a sort of good day sort of greeting. So good morning, good evening. How are you? I hope everything has been absolutely exceptionally well and that you're blessed and thriving.
I hate it.
Lord. I need you to know, can you blah 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 blah.
I hate it.
And I'm like, you better bless me as you request me.
I hate it, but I appreciate your stance on that. I don't know if you even knew that it was going to be as controversial as it was at first, but I love how you're very flat-footed and you're very wise and you know what you believe in, and that in itself is such a rarity nowadays as far as what I've been seeing around here. So I definitely applauded that, but you made me look into myself and make sure that I check my motives, which I desire to have good intentions, but I wanted to make sure that when I'm doing my normal, that I'm also, doing it the right way. So you got me on that one too, and I appreciate that post. So I think it's a good conversation topic for sure. So that was the general consensus of our conversation this morning. So what do you guys say? Are y'all here for the good morning text or are you not here for the good morning text? Does it matter who it's coming from? Does it matter how often they do it? Does it matter if it's the opposite sex? How y'all feel if somebody from the same sex is texting y'all good morning? I want to hear what y'all got to say about these good morning texts. Y'all already know where to call me at 866-87-SMITH. That's 866-877-6484. Can't wait to see what y'all got to say. But in the meantime, I'm going to make sure I ain't sending no good morning texts without no intention. Y'all give me a call. I'll talk to y'all in a little bit. Let's get on to our next thing. Cardi B said, not me, you won't. You ain't going to do it. Let's get into that story real quick. Well, it sounds like Cardi B's about to put her money where her mouth is. She was not having it with a couple of vloggers online who spoke some ill against her. According to Complex.com, as they're reporting from TMZ.com, apparently Cardi B is suing two vloggers. One is named Latasha K, and the other is Star Marie Ebony Jones. Now, Latasha K, she is the vlogger over on YouTube. She is super huge over there. She is really well known for talking about celebrities, and a couple of them have spoken out against her recently. One of them was Jason Lee, who spoke out against her online, and now Cardi B, who is also suing her. Her show on YouTube is called Unwind with Tasha K. Now, reportedly, over 23 videos she has discussed Cardi B in a disparaging way, or this occurred over a span of about 14 months, including talking about Cardi's daughter. She said that Cardi was a prostitute and that she also did drugs while she allegedly said that Cardi was a prostitute and that she did drugs while she was pregnant with Culture, and that her baby would be born with intellectual disabilities due to her using drugs during her pregnancy. So Cardi caught wind of that, and she wasn't having it. And now baby girl is about to sue her and the other vlogger too, Star Marie Ebony Jones. She allegedly said that Cardi not only was doing Molly, but she was also doing cocaine and engaging in prostitution as well. So here's what Cardi had to say not too long ago to Tasha K on her live. Listen.
Friends, you dumbass bitch, I'm gonna sue you for defamation of character, because it's like, you know what, I let the bitch play and talk shit about me, but when you talk shit about my daughter, that's when I have a fucking issue with you. And that's the type of shit like, is that you be letting these YouTube bloggers talk mad shit and you let it, but when they get out of line, it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna take legal action because I'm sick of people. Like, I'm really sick of people. Like, the fuck? Anybody that she think I'm close with, she got a fucking story to tell. Like, how you think that I'm close with some girl, and then you gonna go ahead and make up stories about her talking about she's a crackhead and everything? This woman got 3 kids that are active on social media. Like, people just want to make up stories about people and talk shit about people, because, you know, just using my name, you get automatic clickbait and shit. And it's like, when they don't have a story to say about me, they will just make a story up, or they will make a story up about my friends, and I'm sick of it.
Well, I'd be sick of it too. So one thing we were talking about last week's episode was about walking in the lane that you're supposed to be walking in. Oftentimes, people see people in the talk space or on stage and in these entertainment careers, and you think like, oh, wow, I would love to have that, or wow, I think I deserve that, or I think I'm good talking, or whatever, and they don't do the research. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you know, people can cut on a camera. You got YouTube.com. You can sign up for a free account, and you haven't really done the legal understanding of take the responsibility for your words. So let me inform anybody who wants to get into the talk space. There's some things you need to know. And here are 2 things that you must put in the front of your mind. Now, the first thing is slander. Slander is the action or crime of making a false spoken statement damaging to a person's reputation. And then the next thing is libel. It's a published false statement that is damaging to a person's reputation. So basically, you can't be going around saying whatever you want, especially when you're in the talk space and you're garnering an audience that could discredit somebody, disparage somebody, cause their business to fail. You gonna get sued. So we're gonna see exactly where this is going. I'm definitely gonna be looking into it, and I'll make sure to keep you guys posted. And in lighter Cardi B news, last week the rapper filed paperwork to trademark her famous catchphrase. The court document said that the phrase usage will be for paper products like paper cups and posters, and apparel like t-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that. Now, the internet went up in arms last week, mostly with folks saying that she didn't even make it up. Like, how are you going to trademark Okur? They say that she stole it from Khloe Kardashian. I guess on the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Khloe often said the term okay, not in the same exact way that Cardi B says it, but she was known for saying that. So Black Twitter was all up in arms over the weekend, saying, you know, their take on that. And so Cardi got wind of it, and here's what she had to say to her proposed haters.
Wait. So you hoes is mad because I trademark Let me tell you something. Every single time I go to a corporate meeting, these folks be like, oh my God, can we just please hear you say Every time I go to a TV show, hey, can you teach me how to say Hey, Every time I go do a commercial, hey, can you finish it off with a grr? You think I ain't gonna profit off this shit? Bitch, white folks do it all the motherfucking time. So you're gonna be mad at me because I wanna get some motherfucking money? Uh-oh. Let me tell you something. While I'm still here, I'ma secure all the fucking bags. Let me give you a secret too. It's 2019, bitches. It's a lot of ways to get rich. True. You guys gotta get yourself some business. Stop minding motherfucking others. I'm gonna get this motherfucking bag while I'm here, ho. I don't give a...
Well, you heard that straight out of the horse's mouth. So, hey, listen, I ain't mad at her. You know what I'm saying? If other people are going to be making money off of your words, why not make your own money? So she filed the motions last week. It hasn't been reported if the trademark has been fully accepted or whether somebody would contest it or not. So I'm going to keep you guys posted on that. We'll see where it goes. So enough of Cardi B. Let me do a little bit of cardio and race over to my next voicemail.
Hey, Chris, it's your girl, Maya.
Hey, Maya.
I just wanted to know, like, my birthday's coming up, and
Happy birthday.
I'm kind of over, having to plan and do my own birthday. I'm just kind of over it, so I'm at, a brain fart of what to do. Can you help me out? What did you do for your 25th birthday? What should I do? Where should I go? I'll probably be at home.
No.
What should I wear? Style it like. How can I make a statement? Being sexy, but still yet classy. Let me know what you think. Bye.
Hey, what's up, Maya? Happy birthday coming up. Welcome to 25. 25 is it's a dope year. I'm going to tell you that. She asked me, what did I do for my 25th birthday? Who even told you I was 25? I'm 24. Okay, for the record. I haven't done it yet. But no, the 25 is a very special year because you're out of that whole phase. Okay, you finally turned 20. That's the big one. And then 21, so your little fast tail can drink. And then it's something about 25 where you starting to feel yourself. You ain't fully where you ready to put on, a Republican suit and go to work 9 to 5 every day for the rest of your life, but you ready to square your shoulders up a little bit. So I think for 25, you can do something that is a little bit mature, a little bit gathered, a little bit distinguished, but yet still fun and something that you can share with your friends along the way. So a few ideas that I thought about. What about doing a wine tasting or either a vineyard tour? That's really cool. I'm not sure how much you are into wine, but that could be fun, trying different wines, tasting them with your girlfriends, getting dressed up and all that good stuff. Or either you can do a murder mystery dinner. How about hosting that, at your house or at a hotel or at a venue where you have your friends dress up, make it 1950s themed or something like that. And the night you have a host, and this whole night is about a murder mystery, and it's all over dinner. You got to find out who killed who. That could be fun. What about volunteering? Leave your mark somewhere on the world. Let the 25th be the day where you say, I'm going to leave my mark on the world. I'm going to volunteer. And you can do that at your local soup kitchens, convalescent homes, or either youth centers. Another idea that you can think of doing for your 25th birthday is do something that you've never done. Do something that you never, ever done, like snorkeling or hiking, or go get one of them crazy fish pedicures, Put your feet in the fish tank and let them nibble on your skin so you got a nice little pedicure. Something different that you never done. Or do something that terrifies you. Make a mark on your 25th birthday that I broke that fear, or at least I faced that fear. That would be super dope. Lastly, for your 25th birthday, if all else fails and you just want to take some time to just dig into you, dive into you, what about going on a retreat? Go on a retreat, spend some time away, shut your phone down, just get into you, into your core, into your center. And you can look up some retreats near you at retreatfinder.com. So happy birthday. Choose something dope, and I'm super, 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 super duper excited about your future. The last caller's question reminded me of a conversation that I was having recently with one of my family members. The caller was trying to figure out, what do I do for my 25th birthday? What do I love? What do I like? What I want to do? How do I want to celebrate it? Etc. I don't know. I'm tired of thinking about it. And I was having a conversation with one of my family members recently who was talking about their appetite had been changing and about how things just weren't tasting good and how didn't really know what they like these days. You know what I'm saying? Different things don't sit well in the digestive system. system as you get older, et cetera, et cetera. And so I was advising them of what I believe. And I believe that all of us should have a love list. I think all of us should have a love list. And so a love list is a list of things that you love. Wow, groundbreaking, right? But listen, in theory it is, because I think that we should have a list somewhere, a physical list of things that we absolutely love. Places that we find our happy at, situations and songs that we can go to that can snatch us up out of where we are. I think so often we spend so much time talking about the things that we don't like that we don't really take the time to really focus on the things that we love. I've asked a couple of friends before, like, what's some of your favorites, or what do you like, or what do you, it takes more time. Actually, even for the average person, it takes more time to tell another person asking what you love versus what you like. I mean, what you don't like. We're so easily talk about, I don't like that. We're such a critical people. I think it's just kind of built into our nature to a certain degree. But if you have this particular love list, there's certain things you'll start being able to go back to. So, like, for instance, if you're sad, you know that you're on your love list is going to an art museum. You love going to art museums. You find you're happy there. You find your best place there. Sometimes when you're sitting in a sad place and you're sitting there spiraling downward, we've all been there. You're not always thinking of no kind of ladder. Sometimes you're not thinking of a ladder. Sometimes you need a little bit of assistance and some reminders to get you up out of some things sometimes. That's just the way life goes. But if you were able to, could you imagine being able to flip open a notebook with 30 pages of stuff that you love, that you wrote in there that you love? I love Stony Mountain cream ice cream or whatever. Listen, you done had a bad day at work. That's one of your options of possibly getting to a place of happy. Now we're gonna need you to slow down and trim down on that. But you get the point that I'm making. So I just want to encourage you guys to maybe create a love list. Find out, ask yourself, what do I like? What do I love? What do I find value in? Where, when I go there, does my spirit light up? Do you know where your recharge centers are? Do you know where your recharge centers are? So, hey, I don't know. I just felt led to say that today. Before we go into our next piece of news, y'all, I got to tell y'all my about this next story. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. When I tell you that I was literally gagging at this story, I was literally gagging at this story. It's always the ones that are pointing the finger. Them always seem to be the ones that always got the most secrets, right? So y'all know Michael Avenatti, right? I'm sure by now you probably heard his name because every day I look up his name is all over CNN, all over the news. He is currently on the prosecution side for the R. Kelly case. He's speaking so vociferously about that. But before that, he was also the famed attorney who represented adult film star Stormy Daniels, who took the president of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump, to court. So here is what we learned today. This is what I found out today.
Today, we announced criminal extortion charges against Michael Avenatti.
I can't.
The charges are based on Avenatti's scheme to extract more than $20 million in payments from a public company by threatening to use his ability to garner publicity to inflict financial and reputational harm on the company.
Did y'all hear that? So this guy, this huge famed lawyer, prosecutor lawyer, apparently has gotten caught up in this scandal, in this scheme where he was trying to extort $15 to $20 million out of Nike. Okay? How dare you come against the sneaker tycoon of the world with this caca? So what happened was Michael Avenatti got a call from a coach at an AAU coach in New York. That coach's team had just lost a Nike sponsorship that was worth $72,000 a year. This coach claimed that Nike made payments to families of some of the high school basketball players, and Avenatti was demanding that they pay him in order to keep him quiet from doing a press release with this particular news. Now, the feds claim that Avenatti told Nike's lawyers that if they did not pay him between $15 and $25 million, that he was going to hold a press conference on the eve. Listen to this. How smart is this? He was going to hold a press conference on the eve of Nike's quarterly earnings call and the start of March Madness. He was getting ready to try to slay their entire season with the news that if you don't pay up in order to keep me quiet, we're going to blow the whistle. Now, y'all know we just had this whole college scandal. Y'all see about people paying monies into places that they shouldn't be paying. Y'all see how that's going to end. So Nike, they wasn't feeling that. But what they did was they already set him up because, see, the thing of it is, what Avenatti didn't know is that Nike had already caught wind of this allegation. They had already reported it. They already had reported it and already had the feds looking into it. So when Avenatti set up a meeting for them to go meet with him to sign the deal or what have you, guess what? They had police waiting there. And my man was arrested. Not only that, he has another case that is pending against him that just came to the light, where allegedly he siphoned about $1.6 million from a settlement that he scored for a client back in 2017, and then hid the money, y'all, in his personal bank account that he controlled. Never told the client about it. How you done won $1.6 million for me? I hired you. I paid you to do that. You won the money. Then you hid the money while the client walks away penniless? That's deep. So TMZ is reporting all this, and up to this very moment, he did get arrested today, and he is currently out on bond. $300,000 was his bond. Now, he didn't have to pay that, but two people have put up and probably signed over their homes or what have you to put up against a surety on that bond. So his restrictions are he can only travel between New York and California because those are his places of business, and he cannot be in contact with famed attorney Mark Geragos, who is said to be his co-conspirator. So, y'all, this thing is about to get thick. So it's going to be interesting to see how that impacts his prosecution side of the R. Kelly case. So, yeah, white-collar crime at its finest. It's so disgusting, isn't it? I think now's a good time to get into our next music break. The group Total dropped this dope track first on the New Jersey Drive movie soundtrack, and then later on their debut album. Let me sneak into your speakers with Totals. Can't you see?
You just don't know what you do to me. Bad boy.
Give me all the chicken heads from Pasadena to Medina. Bet big, get in between you, then see the prognosis, doses, blends and bends like Twizzlers. Biggest fitting to hurt what's under that skirt.
Slow down, son, you're killing me.
Who filling them with octane? Got them gassed up, about to get blasted up, son. The last one word the mother, brother miss him. I seen it when he kissed him at the wake, made his body shake. The high guy in 850 eyes, smoke tint, rap terror, full chrome and terror. Street five by the rivers, the fifth is conspicuous. Bad boy slipped in 95, ridiculous. My rap lines is like landmines. One step, kaboom, black suits fill the room. To whom it may concern, Junior Mafia's the clique. Act up, I have my honey's total busted.
That's right.
In the middle of the day now, baby, I seem to think of only you. Oh, yeah.
That was my song. It featured Biggie, and it was produced by Puff. Man, good times, good times. Speaking of Puff, the world took a blow at the sudden passing of Kim Porter last November. The two shared 3 children, one of which, Christian. He recently spoke to Angie Martinez of Power 105.1 in New York City about losing his mom. Here's what he had to say. It touched me.
One thing I never really told anybody, like, right when I found out the news, like, I was shocked. Like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, yo.
How could you?
My whole world stopped. And, like, I was real down. And as soon as I got in the car, because I landed at the airport, as soon as I got in the car, my song Love You Better came on the radio. And I'm like, yo, like, nah, like, I know that's her talking to me, like, making sure I know everything's okay. So that just made me feel like there's still faith in that, you know, I just got to keep pushing.
Yeah.
And that it's time.
And you got an angel forever.
Yeah.
Wow. That was major. So, yeah, it sounds like Christian is staying encouraged, and I'm sure he's keeping the twins encouraged as well as best as he can. He's also putting out new music, as you just heard him say. His song "Love You Better" was a track that he did with Chris Brown. You can check that out on all your favorite digital platforms. And also, be sure to keep the family lifted. I'm sure they can use our prayers at this time. All right, y'all ready? Come on, let's get into our next voicemail real quick. See who I can help out.
Hi, I have a question. I have a friend who is married but not married. The woman that he is with asked him to go through a fake wedding, and now she's trying to turn it into a real wedding. What advice do I give my friend who is now married to this woman, or actually is not really married to this woman, but she's trying to make it into a real marriage?
That's weird. You know what? Okay, so I only can answer it based on what everything that was stated there. I don't want to add anything to or subtract from. It sounds like to me this may have been one of those cases, maybe like a marrying somebody from out of the country so that they can get citizenship situation, or whatever the deal was. The caller is asking the question that both parties agreed to an arranged marriage, married on paper only, for some reason that we don't know why. But they both went in saying that handshake agreement. What up, fam? This is what we about to do. We about to get this coin. We about to get this citizenship, or whatever it was that they were trying to goal after that they were going to do. And somewhere along the line, as you ladies tend to do, shout out to my ladies, somewhere along the line, Mamacita decided that play wasn't enough. She ready for the real thing. It's time to get in here and make me Mrs. For real. And so now the caller is saying that she has a friend, the guy, who's stuck. Like, he's in an agreement, he's in a situation that, what is he supposed to do? So, well, to me, that's a no-brainer. I mean, he's going to have to divorce her. Now, the part about the question that I can't really answer, I don't know what side of the benefit he fell from and what's going to happen to that benefit if the marriage is actually over. But if you have agreement with somebody, I mean, unfortunately, I hate that they had this particular agreement. I can't really say because I don't know what the agreement was about. But this particular agreement, it's multi-layered. It's really difficult. It has a lot of things, and I really care about the institution of marriage. But now that it's here, the fact that they're married and that it's on legal, now he has to annul a legal agreement. He's going to have to do it just like he would be separated from a business partnership. He's going to have to divorce. He's going to have to divorce her, and it's going to be at whatever risk of losing that benefit. So if I were you, if you feel like it's your position to be of advice to your friend, or if he asks you again, I mean, you're going to have to, that's the only way he's going to be able to get out of that legal binding agreement. You know what I'm saying? And until then, he's going to be bound to what that is. And so I would put haste on that. So that's my best advice. I mean, that's the only thing I can see that can come out of it. What is he going to do? Skip across town? He's still going to be married, and she still can do stuff like get spousal support, and she can get joint credit card. It's a lot of things that can be done when you got somebody else's last name that I ain't trying to have when I really wasn't trying to marry you for real. So yeah, he's going to have to divorce her, and he's going to have to do that with the quickness. Before I get into my last voicemail, how dope is this? On September 11th, the same day that the Twin Towers fell, that's the same day that Jay-Z dropped what is inarguably his best work to date, the Blueprint album. Now, it was just recently announced that the Library of Congress is going to archive this iconic album. Yes. The reason for the honor is due to the 13-track albums, and I quote from them, cultural and historic importance to the American soundscape. Don't that sound dope? The Library of Congress has chosen to archive the Blueprint along along with some other songs and some other artists as well, like Earth, Wind & Fire, Curtis Mayfield, and Nina Simone, as well as speeches that have also helped shape the landscape of Americana. So I think that's so dope, or how you can leave your mark on the world, but yet leave your mark on the culture at the same dang time. That's super dope. So shout out to Jay-Z. Congratulations, man. You ring.
Hi, Smith. The podcast is amazing.
Thank you.
So I have a silly little question this week, but I do need your help. So I saw you on Instagram way back when, busting a move, and you danced very well.
Oh, Lord.
The thing is, I'm a great dancer, too. I mean, I'm on beat. I got rhythm. I'm doing every latest dance move. The only problem is this only happens when I'm sitting down.
Oh.
For some reason, when I stand up, my legs get like a giraffe, and they just don't know what to do. It just throws me all off. So I need you to walk me through one or two little dance moves, like a 1, 2, 3 kind of thing that I can do and still look cool on my feet. Thank you.
I love it. You know what? That's so funny, because I have a couple of cousins. When I tell you, they are America's best dance crew. They are You Got Served. They are all of those best dance movies at your finest when they are seated. When they are seated, I'm telling you, they can cut up. But sometimes it is challenging to coordinate the top half of your body with the lower half of your body. And I'll tell you this, I am nobody's movement coach and I am nobody's choreographer, but I also used to not be as good at footwork. And so I am very good at musicality. I can hear beats, I can hear nuances, I can hear beats dropping, I can hear runs. I often dance to that. So that's just kind of my style. That's just the way that I hear music. And so my feet kind of move to that. So one thing that could help is listening to how you hear the music. So listen to the different things within the music. Listen to the downbeats. Listen to the 1s and the 3s, the 2 and the 4. Listen to the runs. Listen to when the beat breaks, and knowing how to use those things to help bring a little finesse and pizzazz to what you're trying to present on the dance floor. It's very difficult for me to be able to show you through the podcast some good old dance moves. However, I did find something that could help. I found you something. So if you go to youtube.com, search for a video under the name Footwork Tutorial 20 famous dance moves. That was put on YouTube by a YouTuber named Dragon Dance Studio. They posted this in 2017, and it already has 698,000 views, so somebody checking in on it. But what I like about this video is that this dancer on here, he shows 20 dance moves that you could do with your feet, and they're simple, and he shows them in a simple, easy-to-get way. So journey on over there, scurry on over there, and get on into that. But in the meantime, you keep on shaking them shoulders, you keep on dipping them elbows, you keep on rolling that neck, twisting that hair, doing all that good old stuff that Beyonce taught you how to do until you can get them feet in coordination, until we can make you our little next mini Missy Elliott. Thanks for calling me. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. My podcast, I'm loving it. We'll be back after this commercial break. If you're like me, your weeks are sometimes very long, and so when it comes time for the weekend, it's time to turn up. You want to do something that's going to be fun and interactive. And guess what? I got you covered for this weekend. On Sunday, March the 31st at 4 o'clock p.m., the City of West Hollywood's art division is going to be presenting Beverly Johnson. Now, she's the supermodel. She was the first black supermodel to ever be on the cover of Vogue. She's also landed over 500 magazine covers, y'all. And she's going to be sitting down doing her one-woman show called Naked. They're going to be presenting this over at West Hollywood City Council Chambers, located at 625 North San Vicente Boulevard. That's over in the city of West Hollywood. Again, that's going to be on Sunday, March the 31st, 4 o'clock p.m. You get to sit right on down with Beverly Johnson, and I think that's going to be pretty cool. And the event is free, y'all. You can't really beat that. You know what I'm saying? And then on Saturday, we got some other things going on. Detroit rapper Cash Doll is going to be here this Saturday, March the 30th at 7 o'clock p.m. She's going to be here in L.A. at a venue called 630 St. Vincent Court, located also at 630 St. Vincent Court. She's going to be performing with a few local artists. And listen, she's not even asking you to run her money as she normally raps about. This event is actually free. All you got to do is RSVP by the 30th, and you have to be there by 8 p.m. If you're there after 8 p.m., then the event's going to cost $20. If you want to skip the line and still get in, the event's going to be $40. So that takes care of your Saturday night. Now, what you doing on Sunday? I got a suggestion for you. I got a party where you can shake your bum bum. Yeah, it's going to be Fire Sundays. They say it's the #1 dance hall reggae soca party in Hollywood, y'all. It's Sunday, March the 31st at 10 o'clock p.m. It's located in Hollywood at 1626 North Cahuenga Boulevard. Yeah, man, it's going to be an at-capacity event. I hear it is the hot ticket, and the tickets are free if you get an early RSVP, and it goes up to $10 if you do not. You can catch this all on Eventbrite.com. Make sure y'all do something this weekend. You worked hard, you paid your bills up on time, I hope, and you need to reward yourself with some balance. So have fun and party responsibly. As you can imagine, living in LA, it's a very busy city. It's so much stimuli going on. There's constant traffic, there's constant noise and music, and it's just so much stimuli going on. It's really hard sometimes to get still moments in LA. You have to really, really celebrate the silent moments because they come few and far in between, and it becomes increasingly difficult, to have an encounter with silence. So I was on YouTube not too long ago, maybe like late last year, and I stumbled across this video by an author, Alan Watts. He was born over in the UK. He died in the 70s. He is a philosopher as well as an author, and he had this to say. It was very poignant that really sticks with me, and I wanted to share it with you guys.
So now, can you allow your mind to be quiet? Isn't it difficult? Because the mind seems to be like a monkey, jumping up and down and jabbering all the time. Once you've learned to think, you can't stop. And an enormous number of people devote their lives to keeping their minds busy.
Cell phone.
And feel extremely uncomfortable with silence. When you're alone, nobody's saying anything, there's nothing to do.
Wow.
There's this
ticking,
this worry, this lack of distraction. I'm left alone with myself, and I want to get away from myself. I'm always wanting to get away from myself. That's why I go to the movies. That's why I read mystery stories. That's why I go after girls or anything that you do, or get drunk or whatever. I don't want to be with myself. I feel queer. So, well, why do you want to run away from yourself? What's so bad about it? Why do you want to forget this? Why do you want to become yourself? Because you are addicted to thoughts.
Wow. Wow. Did you hear what that man said? Did you hear what he said? That we are oftentimes addicted to thoughts in order to escape thinking about ourselves introspectively and working on the things that we should work on. When I encountered that video, it impacted me so much to the point that I actually started to change how I did things. For instance, I live in an apartment complex in Los Angeles. And oftentimes when you park your car under the garage, I want to go up, you immediately putting on your music. You just got out of the car with music. Now I'm cutting on my music into my Bluetooth headphones to go listen to music, to walk across the parking lot and go up the elevator. It's like constant stimuli. The elevator comes. When I'm waiting on the elevator, I'm pulling out my phone to check Instagram. When I'm on the elevator and I'm with people, on the elevator, instead of engaging with them, I'm listening to my music and still on my phone on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. And doing all this reaching out, checking in on everybody else's life to see how their day is going, all to possibly escape the reality of one's own. And so I began to take inventory over what I was doing with my vacuumous time. How was I entertaining and filling and occupying the empty spaces of my life? And was I doing that, whatever that was, in balance with taking time to take a peek within to see if there's some inventory and some things that I need to clean up within myself? That thing right there changed how I saw a lot. So I wanted to leave you guys with that notion today. Yes, social media is an amazing tool, but it is a tool. Don't you become the tool in the hands of social media. You allow social media to be the tool in your hands. Distractions and diving in and dipping into everybody else's life, it's become a part of our culture. It's become a part of our subculture. It's a part of the technological age. And it's so easy to do because one click, you can be in somebody else's business. And it's easy to get caught up and not pay, so much focus on what you need to do. So that's what I wanted to encourage you with today as you continue this week out. You're going to end this week strong. You're going to start next week strong. But what we are going to do is we're going to take some time to take some introspective looks into our life. Winter has come and it has gone. And there's some things that died there. Is there some stuff in there you got to clean out in order for that new stuff to grow through with your spring? So, you guys, I thank you all for tuning in to episode 7 of So What We Not Gonna Do. This has been so refreshing for me, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed your time here, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week on my podcast, So What We Not Gonna Do, the original 90s voicemail podcast. And hey, I got good news. If you don't want to wait till next week to talk to me, you can go catch me over on Instagram at Smith Worldwide, on Twitter at Smith Worldwide. I'm also on Facebook.com/Smith Worldwide. You got it. And my website is smithworldwideca.com. Beatme911.com if you want to know what's going on with the podcast. And I can't wait to bring you guys episode 8 next week. Stay tuned, stay in touch, stay blessed. Don't hate, wash your skin, exfoliate, eat some good sushi, find a good happy hour, say hello to somebody you never talked to, open the door for somebody, keep the elevator open for the person you was trying to hurry up and close it on, and do something else good in the world until we talk again. I'll see you guys soon.
When I was young and I listened to you, your voice gave me inspiration. That's when